Alright, so one of the most common questions I'm asked is, how do I extend the life of my cover? I don't want to have to buy a cover every year, every 2 years, or even every 3 years, which is the life expectancy for a hot tub cover. But one of the things, there are several things you can do, but one of the things that you can do and should do is what I'm going to talk to you about today. I'm going to show you how to install one of the styles of cover lifts. It's called Ultralift, and there's several different types of cover lifts. There's loop style. I'm a big fan of that, but for some applications such as speaker covers, speaker tubs, you're going to want to go with something that's more of a top mount style to give you more clearance to get over those speakers. So anyway, this is how you install the Ultralift cover lifter. Alright, I'm here to talk to you today about the installation of the Ultralift cover lift. This cover lift can be attached at the bottom of the tub, near the middle of the tub, or at the top of the tub. For this installation, since it's a speaker cover, we're going to go towards the top of the tub. So basically you open it up and you'll find instructions, very good instructions. Also all your parts, which you can then take out of the box. That's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm not going to show you the whole process. I'll just catch snippets of each individual important section. Alright, so there is a little bit of pre-assembly that needs to happen. So we'll take these two-piece mounting brackets and we'll put those together, and we will use these 4 nuts, and so you'll need a wrench or socket set or something too. So we'll put these together, just 2 of them, 2 sets. Alright, and then we'll tighten them down. Alright, so now that we have the two-piece mounting brackets assembled, we will put them off to the side, and we will grab the slider pivot bracket, which is this right here, and we're going to put these square caps. There's 2 of those, 1 for each of the pivot brackets. We'll put those in there, and we will put the round pivot arm end cap in this one, and this one's going to go on this this pivot arm. We've got 3 holes down here, 2 holes down here. You're actually going to put the cap on that end. Alright, good deal. I'm going to do this to both sets. Alright, so as you can see, we've got the end caps on these pivot brackets and pivot arm pieces. So on to the next step. Alright, so on this tub, since it's a speaker cover and we want to have as much clearance to get over those speakers and hang it up high on the back, we're going to go towards the top of the tub itself, and you mount these brackets towards the back of the tub, towards the corner, and then as far up to the top as you can. All right, now I like to tuck up the skirt while I'm working on this, but basically it's pretty straightforward. And what we're going to do is we're going to mount this bracket with these screws here, wood screws. I'm just going to mount it up in here. Okay, so you won't actually see the process, because as awesome as I am, I still have a hard time holding a camera and a bracket and a drill and a screw all at the same time. So, but this is what it's going to be like. Alright, so you also have to kind of figure out where there is support in the back, because you don't want to just drill just into the side panels. Some of the screws may go just into the side panels, but you want to make sure you're grabbing some meat, some 2x2s back in there as well. So that might affect where exactly you put the bracket. Alright, so I have attached those brackets on both sides of the tub. Trying to find the best place to screw into the most wood behind the side panels. Now we go to the next step. Alright, now we're going to take the slider pivot bracket and we're going to put it into the bracket down here. We're going to slide it through. And then you want the back of the bracket to basically line up with the back of the tub. So depending on where you put the original mounting brackets, that looks pretty good from here. And then you're going to secure with the self-tapping metal screws through these holes, these small holes, to secure this bracket in place. Again, lined up with the back of the tub. The other side is going to go on the same way, and again, you're going to put the back of this slider bracket, align it in the same way that you did on this side. So 4 self-tapping metal screws now. Make sure these right here. All right. All right, so now I have the arms in place at the corners. Brackets good to go. Basically lined up with the back of the shell. Alright, so basically this sleeve here, the center bar, is going to go over the side bars. So wiggle it on a little bit, and we'll do the same on the other side. Alright, so now we're going to put our corner bars with the center bar. And so if you mount your cover lift lower, you're going to have the long arm part going this way. But if you mount it high like we did, you want the short part here and the long part going across that way. All right? So let's put this together. Alright, so now we have our top section together. We're going to use this this bar right here, which goes down to the pivot bracket. We're going to put this over top of this. Okay, so now we have all the bars connected. This side arm feeds down towards the pivot arm. All right. So this bar is going to go through here. We're going to connect it with this bolt pin, and they call it a clevis. Clevis pin, but you might call it a cotter pin like I do. Alright, so that's what we're going to do now. Alright, so up to this point, we haven't really screwed anything in as far as this bar goes. So these are all able to be turned and swiveled and spun around so that they actually line up like they're supposed to. That's what that looks like. What's going on. Alright, we're going to do the other side the same way. Alright, so basically we're lining that hole up there. It's really the second hole. There's a hole on this bar. I'm going to put that in there. And again, since nothing is secured yet, you're able to swivel and twist this until it goes through like it's supposed to. Sorry for the camera work. I'm struggling here trying to do everything. There you go. Alright, so now we're ready to make sure we're lined up properly. Make sure that your cover is in place like you want it, centered, etc. And then you're going to want to make sure that that the bar is about an inch from the center of the seam of the hinge all the way down. All right, once that is the case, you're going to want to make sure you got enough hand room over here, but you also want to make sure that your screw holes on this are horizontal. because when the cover flips back, you don't want the screws to be on the top and catching that vinyl. All right, so you're going to want to screw in from the side. That way the screw heads never come into contact with the cover itself. So let's put using those metal screws. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up there, and then 6 on the side. So we've got 12 screws to go. Almost home. So again, we're securing all these arms together, these bars rather. Self-tapping metal screws. Alright, one tip: when you put these screws in the top bar as it runs across the top of the cover, if you'll put a piece of cardboard, you can use the box that the cover lift came in. If you'll put a piece of cardboard underneath of it, it'll do 2 things. One is it'll catch the shavings, the metal shavings, which you don't want to come into contact with your cover. But also, if while you're drilling your drill slips, you have a better chance of protecting the cover by the drill bit hitting the cardboard rather than the vinyl. Alright, we're almost there. Now just we take these little caps, these little black plastic caps, and you take those and you just find them, get them in your hand, and then you just put them on top of these screws. They just kind of snap on there. And you got enough to do all the screws that you did. And it just basically protects the screw heads and cleans up the look all the way around. Alright, so you'll flip your flaps back. Flip your cover back. Then you will swivel the cover lift back. Now once you get it back to here, it'll have a tendency to fly back on you. So they've included a little hook pin, and this slides in the bottom right here. Let's see if I can get it now. There you go. So that'll keep it from flying back into the neighbor's yard. So there you have it. That's your cover and your cover lift. This is the Ultra Cover Lift. It's pretty nice, pretty straightforward. Don't need many tools. Holds it up there just right. This is the Ultra Lift Cover Lift, and it assists you in lifting the cover, and it holds it suspended off the ground so it doesn't come into contact with abrasive surfaces. Those are the 2 main things the cover lift does, and in doing so, they extend the life of your cover. The longer your cover life, the more you'll enjoy your hot tub. So check us out. You can get all this right here at the website, NashvilleSpaCovers.com. We have cover lifts and accessories and things like that. So check us out. There you go.